Civilization is a vulnerable thing, a whim of circumstance. At any time, the smallest flap of a butterfly's wings may set catastrophe in motion. Haran, an entire city wiped from the map. Those left behind there did not stand a chance. The world's greatest minds came together and found a vaccine against the Haran virus. Finally,
Stop by when you can.
Your time has come, hotshot. Welcome to the top tier of the Carriers Guild. You out. Congratulate. And what with you get one favor. So ask away. And make it good, hotshot.
I asked that Derek be reinstated as a carrier. He saved my life, and even as an outcast, had this guild's back. He admits to his mistakes, and I believe he'll work hard to make up for them.
Well, if you say so, I'll believe you. We'll restore Derek immediately.
Thank you.
From now on, treat me like an open book. There is probably a great deal that you'd like to know. Want answers, hotshot? Now's your chance to ask.
Aiden, heard the news? Meet me in the canteen. If I really am to thank you, I want to do it in person.
A question for you, Professor.
Ask away.
I'm looking for a girl named Mia. She'd be about my age now. A little younger. Do you know anything about her?
No, I'm afraid not. Anything else you can tell me about her?
Yeah, she was one of Waltz's experimental subjects. No, one of his victims. 15 years ago.
There were more girls. The Carriers know of one of them. It was hard to keep that one out of trouble.
Sounds like it could be her.
Maybe. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. She goes by the name of Lawan. She hangs out with Frank, as far as I know.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Can you tell me anything about X-13?
X-13? Interesting. Not quite, but listen to this. Back in the day, the military coded strategic locations around the city with an X and a number. This included sites like water towers, power stations. The higher the number, the more strategically important the location. But I've never heard of any location with a higher designation than X9.
So, what's strategically important about X-13?
Have no idea. But I'll tell you, it's not a place for guys like you and me, lad.
I wonder what it means, then. Can you tell me any more about Major Matt?
Before the revolution, Jack Matt was an undistinguished military major. He made his name by refusing William's order to shoot civilians. He managed to get most rank-and-file soldiers to join him and side him with the people and help in their revolution succeed. He's considered by many as not just a hero, but the city's savior. That was then. Now, I hear, he's more and more after personal gain and to help the citizens.
That sounds like he's on a power trip. It's too bad. So, what about this Raynor character?
Character's right. He's responsible for bringing together all the trade unions necessary to get the wall built. This had him mixing with nearly everyone in the city, both the bigwigs and everyday people. He leveraged his role to make himself very, very rich, which made him an unlikely revolutionary leader, but he became one nonetheless. He was ground zero for the rebellion, although his true motivations have never quite been clear. He came out on top in any case, and manages the supply chain for the peacekeepers. He's up there with Matt in influence. He's got exquisite taste, and in the course of his duties, manages to obtain all manner of rare artifacts his people come across. Well, he's become quite the collector.
Sounds like a colorful individual. So, what's the real story on the Night Runners? Who were they?
Heroes to most. Started out pretty simple, a group of soldiers who became infected during a mission. Now, usually, infection spelled the end of a military career. Too much risk, especially with so many night operations. However, around this time, the military created something called inhibitors. Not only did they prolong the time you could spend in the dark, but also greatly enhanced motor skills and other senses. The downside was the side effects of inhibitors. They kicked the crap out of most people, if they didn't outright kill you. Given a choice, most soldiers took the risk to remain in active duty, and to continue to make a difference in the battle. That's why people consider them heroes. Not just because they did so much to help so many, but because they joined the revolution on the people's behalf. They were the real deal, Aiden.
That's quite a story. So who's this Colonel Williams?
Oh, yes. Colonel Chris Williams, a.k.a. The Butcher.
Ooh, how do you earn that nickname?
If you hadn't just asked me, I'd say you don't want to know. But, since you asked, Williams was the right-hand man of General Pratt, the nominal head of security for the city. I say nominal because it was an open secret that Williams was Pratt's puppet master. Pratt was a nepotism promotion, and of no practical military use. Growing bold, Williams ordered a chemical strike on the city, while Pratt was stuck at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, unable to cope with the conflict, the responsibility of military command, and really, well, anything not whiskey-related. What happened next is common knowledge. Williams' attack triggered the revolution. With Pratt having abdicated all authority, Williams ordered the military to shoot civilians. Most of the soldiers refused his order, and the end of armed conflict came swiftly. But not before the Colonel and many of his supporters made the dam his personal stronghold. Shortly after that, lucky for him, he took in Waltz.
Wow. The Butcher indeed. Thanks for the information. So what really brought on the revolution?
It had been building for a while. Under Williams' direction, the military was increasingly unconcerned with collateral damage or civilian fatalities. The chemical strike was the match that lit the bonfire. The military explanation for the chemical strike was to eliminate the infected in evacuated areas of the city. Fact is, most areas had not been evacuated. Crowds of survivors remained, huddled on roofs, sheltering in place. Citizens, but also undocumented refugees from all over Europe. There was no way to know who was healthy and who was infected. There was a massacre, and half the city's population was wiped out.
Oh my God.
It was a tragedy beyond comprehension. Was Williams that bloodthirsty and cruel? Was the military that disorganized that it didn't know its own evacuation plans? In the end, it doesn't really matter. Death and chaos enveloped the city, and those who survived had had enough. And so, as people have done throughout the ages, they rose up in revolution.
I hardly know what to say. This has been quite an education. Thanks, Professor.
No problem, kiddo. Wish more of my carriers were as curious as you.
Getting myself a new weapon at the armory. This one is worn out.
Can I ask for a favor?
Until today, I thought our chances against the Renegades were well.
He accidentally gave me a double.
Let me go! I'm innocent!
Aiden, I have a fresh list of book locations for you. Was that Alice's Adventures in Wonderland you brought back? Do you consider the library your Wonderland now?
I don't know about that, but it's a definite change of pace.
I bet. I would imagine, like Alice's journeys, yours are disorienting. And you're probably surrounded by no small amount of madness. You seem immune to such afflictions. Seem, I say. But are you really, Aiden? Do you ever get close to losing it?
More than I'd like to admit, if I'm being honest.
It means so much that you feel you can be honest with me.
Of course I'm honest with you, Thalia.
And I'm honest with you, Aiden. I despair myself at times. At least I used to. Things are much better since you've been coming here. Since we've been talking.
I feel the same way.
Are we mad, Aiden?
Maybe we should discuss this over tea. I'm off. See you next time.
I'll be counting the hours.
See, you're a first timer in the clink. Nobody here gives a shit.
You didn't hit us. Would have wiped us out.
Hey, so there's this thing.
Probably something with that redhead. Until today, I thought our chances against renegades were pretty good. But now, I'm not so sure.
Inhibitor container detected.
Hey, damn it! Over here! Over here!
Inhibitor container detected.
I wish Bizarre folks would talk to us more. This feud is silly. We all want peace.
Growling. Haven't eaten a thing today. Keep watch. Don't talk. Since when are you such a stick in the mud?
Maybe you'll actually wonder how long this is. Good question. Who said that? Who said that? I'll teach you, Noodle Dick. Drill
Haven't seen you for a week. Damn it. What's new? He was an asshole. Recently I had
What are they loading in there?
You have such well-kept hands.
Thanks.
You found them. That's incredible. Let's see. No one wrote adventure like Jules Verne. Around the world in 80 days. Journey to the center of the Earth. And of course, 20,000 leagues under the sea. Did you know that in the Nautilus, he predicted many features of modern submarines? A man ahead of his time. You'll be interested to know that in Plato's Republic, Socrates argues in defense of the connection between a just life and a happy life. Ah, if only such a sentiment could break through the cracks of our society and flower once more. You know, Aiden, I truly believe you deserve to be immortalized for your efforts to preserve the precious resource of human literature. I truly do. As probably does Thalia. Go ask her.
if it isn't my intellectual sparring partner. I see you brought Albert a copy of Plato's Republic. Heady stuff.
I haven't read it, but Albert was sure excited.
If it has pages, Albert's excited. But here's a question. If you had to make a choice, would you choose to be just or to be happy?
If I had to choose, I'd be happy. We all deserve to be happy.
I suppose, but at what cost? Could you disregard the pain and suffering around you and still be happy?
You said choose one, so I did. You didn't say I had to be realistic.
Albert's shelves are nearly full. I suppose you'll stop visiting soon.
We'll just have to see about that.
Well, at least there's one more location to check.
Until today, I thought our chances against renegades were pretty good. But now...
What does it look like I'm doing, asshole?
bothering me.
Stopped fishing,
I'm thinking.
but I intend to pick it up again.
Not a bad idea.
Our duty is to bring order and guard it. Hey, haven't seen you for a week. What's new? I know. Recently,
I'm gonna have to get going, but it's been really nice talking to you.
That reminds me.
More books. I may have to start calling you Santa. It's like Christmas every time you return. Almost everything you think you know about pirates comes from Robert Louis Stevenson's book, Treasure Island. But did you know it was originally meant as a coming-of-age story? Indeed. And even though it was for children, many pirate movies, when there were movies, were rated R. You, sir, are a tough audience. Darwin's Origin of the Species is the foundation of evolutionary biology. It's ironic, really. Is what's happening around us somehow an expression of Darwin's natural selection? Unnatural selection, if you ask me. You did it, Aiden. Our work here is done for now. I am humbled. Truly I am. Humanity has a chance to survive, not just in body, but in spirit. Because of you. Take this. It is but a pittance for all your great works, but it may serve you in your daily adventures.
Thank you, Albert. But I'm curious, what'll you do now that your collection's complete?
With our literary past safeguarded, there is only one thing to do, my boy.
What's that?
Secure the future, of course. Ensure the human spirit continues to be distilled for ages to come.
So, write more books?
Precisely. Starting with a record of your heroic deeds that brought us to this moment.
Who'd want to read about me?
After I've told your tale, my boy, everyone. Oh, and it will be epic. And I already have a title. Libros Libertad.
Nice.
Now leave me, for I must begin. Thank you again, Aiden. We are all in your debt. Oh, and check up on Thalia. She wanted to talk to you.
Keep well, Albert.
Of the books you brought, On the Origin of Species and Treasure Island caught my eye.
And probably inspired a question.
Indeed. So, how do you view yourself? Are you a pioneer like Darwin? Or a pirate like those found in Treasure Island?
I don't know. Don't know enough about either to choose.
Fair enough. I'm glad to hear you're not so self-absorbed.
But...
There's nothing wrong with a little role play that leads to a bit of self-examination. I wonder if you're capable of that.
On that note, it looks like I finished my work with Albert.
Oh, so it means you won't be coming back.
But yeah, I mean...
As hard as it is to admit it, at least a part of me is really sad to hear it. The feelings I've read about, that's nothing compared to what I feel. I'll miss our conversations.
Yeah, me too, Thalia.
Do you think it's possible that I could see you again?
Very possible.
You can visit me at home, if you want. I've marked my flat on your map. I'll be there after the sunset.
Okay. See you there.
Till then, Aiden.
have to get going.
Recently, I had the honor of getting chewed out by the Ranger himself.
Yes, ma'am! Lieutenant, ma'am!
Our duty is to bring order and guard.
On a day like this, I miss real
So
coffee.
boring today.
Don't bother me. I'm thinking.
Need to get myself a new weapon at the armory. This one's worn out. I wish bizarre folks would talk to us more. It's cute.
Come on out and no one gets hurt. They were like hide and seek as a kid. Bastards all. Next time we see you, you're a dead
Great.
man.
What a goddamn waste of time.
Better here than cooped up.
Yeah. Need to get myself a new weapon at the armory. This one's worn out.
Coming down with something again.
Do you think it's caused by the windmill?
Probably not.
Do you know any way to protect yourself from harmful electrical waves?
It's Aiden.
Come in.
We have a nice place.
Thanks. At least here you can pretend that this whole nightmare isn't happening outside. You know, I had a dream.
What dream?
That one morning, I went outside. There were people on the streets, kids playing, people in the cafes, like in the books I read. Crazy, right?
I think we all share that dream.
Do you think if this world were different, would you get married? Build a house?
That seems unlikely. It's so detached from what my life is.
My everyday life is in my imagination. In literature. I'm probably just a weak little girl to you.
No. You're sensitive, but that doesn't mean you're weak. Those who are weak just give up. They stop caring about anything, give up on life. But you still care. It means you still fight.
Someone told me once that only the gentle are ever really strong. Will you hold me? Aiden, can we pretend that what's outside isn't happening? Just this one time.
All right, Thalia. Just this one time.
Were you just gonna slip out?
Well, no, it's just that, you know.
Monsters to fight, people to save. I've read those books.
I'll see you later.
Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. We both know the world we live in, after all.
Didn't you say yours was the world of imagination?
But not delusions. I'm glad this dream has come true.
Likewise.
I know. Goodbye, Aiden.
I wish bizarre folks would talk.
My goods, but everyone